Sitting up here today, been a lot of talk on all the networks about uh, quarterbacks this year's draft, which will be on Thursday. I just want to give my thoughts on some of the top prospects. First and foremost, the number one prospect to most folks and myself is Geno Smith. Because of how the draft is, how everything is working out. Looks like Geno Smith may not be drafted in the first round after all, simply because it's only about 3 or 4 teams in the first round that's really needing quarterbacks from what the experts are saying. They're the Eagles, Browns, uh, Arizona, the Bills. The Bills seem like the team that most experts are trying to say is going to draft a quarterback, but with the coach of Syracuse now being the head coach for the Bills, most people are slating Ryan Nesbitt to be that pick, even though he's clearly the number two or some people's eyes three quarterback in the draft. I think Geno Smith clearly being the best talent overall, he should be drafted. I won't say top 10. He may not be RG3. He may not be Andrew Luck or Cam Newton, but he's certainly going to be a solid quarterback, and I think he could contribute to somebody this season. I'm going to be very interested to see where he ends up. I really believe that a team like the Arizona Cardinals would be served very well to draft him. Like I say, he has the look, he has the arm strength, he has the athleticism. He's played in a complex system. He is one who can put up points. He is one who can probably invigorate the team to go to the next level offensively. And right now, Arizona, I mean, they made the off-season move to get a quarterback, but they really don't have that long-term answer as far as I can tell. All right, Ryan Nesbitt, like I said, he's the one who's number two on most people's draft board. More than likely, he'll be a top 10 pick if the Buffalo Bills stay at the spot that they're in and go for that. I mean, the Bills very easily could trade down and make him a pick just later on in the draft. Ryan Nesbitt, really, I can't sit there to say I'm impressed, not impressed by him one way or the other. I just know this: Syracuse went to a very lowly bowl. They never, they weren't doing anything that was grandiose on the scene in college football. So I mean, if he turns out to be big time, I'd be surprised, but I wouldn't, because like I say, all of the people are on his jock now. So I look forward to seeing how he is, or wherever he's drafted, if it's with the Bills or whatever. EJ Manuel, I'm pretty fond of his athleticism, his size. He is the ultimate dual threat. Some people say Cam Newton-ish. There won't be another Cam, but size-wise, arm strength-wise, I can see that. He's the type of guy I believe I can see going to wherever, going to an Eagles if they draft it later on, maybe second round wise, or going to the Cleveland Browns. But they drafted, of course, second round wise, because they did just draft Brandon Wheaton. I don't know if the Browns are ready to give up on Brandon Wheaton already, but a player like a Geno Smith, a player like a EJ Manuel, I can see them saying, okay, this didn't work with you. We have a big time running back here with Trent Richardson. Let's go ahead and put an athletic running quarterback along with them, and let's run the spread option, which is actually some kind of way infiltrating the NFL. But EJ Mayo, I think he's going to be solid wherever. I look forward to seeing how his career goes, how it shapes up. Excuse me. Matt Barkley. It's been much discussion about this guy on everything from Twitter to ESPN. Everybody's talking about how he could have got so much more money, how he probably would have been a first round draft pick. No doubt, if he would have came out last year, more than likely that's a correct assumption and statement. The thing is, Matt Barkley, he was exposed. He's not overrated. Saying that he is a top 5 quarterback, so he should get drafted in the first or second round. That should happen, maybe even the third. He probably won't last that long, but he was exposed. He wasn't a top 10 talent. He wasn't a top 20 talent. Whoever gets him, he has certain strength. The deep ball is not one of them, but he is a big time West Coast quarterback. he is legitimate. So if he gets with gets at a system that wants to run a lot of 3-step, 1-step drop, 5-step, get the ball out your hand type of things, I think he will thrive. Um, Mike Glennon, the big guy from North Carolina State, he's been started since he got there. The thing about Mike Glennon is he's played. Now he hasn't. I know North Carolina State did have a big time victory against Florida State, but he really has never done anything that would warrant him being a top 10 first round draft pick. But he will be solid. I wouldn't be surprised if he ends up having a 10-year career, being off and on starter, mainly backup. Tyler Wilson, that's a guy, as a person that's from the South, from Memphis, got to give credit to the SEC. I believe this is a person who can, if he gives the right team, of course, he probably get drafted somewhere in the 3rd round. He could be this year's Russell Wilson, somebody who they writing off because he's short, his hands is not as big, whatever it is. I would not be surprised to see Tyler Wilson lighting it up because he played SEC. He's used to heavy pass rush. He's used to playing against pretty much NFL caliber DBs. So we'll see how it goes with him. Tyler Bray, this man here has immense talent. I'm up here in Cookville right now. And there's plenty of UT fans. They didn't like him very much, but man, every time I saw him, man, his footwork looked good, strong arm, but he's an ass. That's what people said about him. He can play the game because of his attitude, because of maybe his lack of work ethic, or whatever it may have been. He'll probably end up being a 3rd, 4th round, 5th round draft pick. Getting the right system, he'll be just fine. Landry Jones and Sean Renfree, these guys, they may or may not get drafted, but I know this much. Landry Jones played at OU. Landry Jones didn't get a chance to play with top-notch 1st, 2nd round draft pick type of receivers as some people thought he would have been. I think this guy is going to be good in the league. He's not that fast. He's not very athletic. So he could be one of those guys who get on as a backup for a good team. If that good quarterback go down, an Aaron Rodgers type of guy or a Tom Brady type of guy, he'd come right in and probably be very efficient as like a number 2 backup quarterback on a good team. Sean Renfree, I don't know too much about him, but started hearing good things about him. He was coached by Cutcliffe, just as Peyton was, just as Eli was. So with that, he possibly has the pedigree, coming from more than likely pretty smart, but he might not get drafted. Even still, it always seems to be somebody who falls through the cracks, who gets with a team falls in love with him before you know it. 3 years down the road, he could be the man. Alright guys, that's all I have to say. Subscribe.